Hello, everybody, and welcome to Digium Live. My name is Brian Ferguson. I'm your host, and with me today is Stephen Davis, my good friend. We're very excited to have him. And Stephen works in our marketing department. And Stephen, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Yep. So I manage the sales operation department. Basically, our group is responsible for all the customer touch points that go through our CRM solution, which we use Salesforce.com. So we administer and develop in that system, and then we also do the business analytics side of things, which we use Pentaho for our business stack. Then, of course, we also do sales automation, support automation. So think of things like, salesperson clicking multiple things on a screen when I could create one button to change a lead status, log a call, and move on to the next record. So that's kind of things that we look at. And, of course, we also do business analytics and provide that up the chain and to the respective managers. So.
Okay, well, great. Well, Stephen has done a couple of articles recently that have been really great, and we're going to kind of talk about what those are and what he talked about in those. So the first one that came out recently, a couple days ago, right, is about kind of how to get data out of your business phone system and how to use that data. So can you tell us what kind of data can you get from your business phone system and what kind of problems can it solve for you?
Yeah, so, there's a wealth of knowledge in your phone system, from, who's, the areas that people are calling to, what are your sales reps calling. So you can actually see, what time of day people are calling, what time people, more importantly, for like a call center manager, what time of day are people calling into your queue? So it's very important for like your call center managers to, properly staff that queue. No one likes to wait in a queue for hours on end. So obviously the call center's, goal is to answer calls and, keep the wait time down. So that's some great information there. Some other information that's useful or for like a sales prospecting team. One, does a manager know when you need to hire another person? Well, I can actually grab that data and see how many calls does a prospector make in a day,
right,
and kind of start doing some formulas to figure out, oh, they can make X number of calls in one day, and now all 5 of my prospectors have reached that level. Well, it's time for me to hire a new person.
Sure.
So.
Okay, well, good. So, modern UC systems have come a long way to deliver this information. What kind of things have they done to make it easier and to make it a lot less expensive than what used to be?
Yeah, so, traditional phone systems, you'd have to have a special IT guy that his only goal in life was to maintain the phone system, right? And if you wanted any information, you'd have to go to that guy and say, please pull out the information. Maybe days later, you'd get the information. And, and that's assuming you have either the product add-on or you have the license for it to be able to get that data out of your phone system.
Right.
Today, in modern UC systems like SwitchVox, all you have to do is just go in, say, this user has rights to reports, and now that user can go in and self-service for their own needs. So, right. And then, of course, there's also APIs. So let's say you're sales op team or your business analytics team, they can actually connect to that using an API with their system, pull that data, put it into the data warehouse for anyone to be able to slice and dice the data or to do data blending with it. So.
Right, and there's a big difference in cost, I'm assuming, too.
Oh, yeah. So, with the UC systems, most of the time, the reporting is just part of it. So that's great because, instead of having to spend this large amount of money for this one little add-on to your phone system, now it's just part of it.
Right.
So.
Okay. So I know there's also a big difference in how the data is delivered and how easily you can access, how quickly you can. There's a big difference between getting reports on a scheduled basis or real time or being able just to get them on my own. Can you tell how those three things kind of fit and where the benefits of each one?
Yeah. So every line level of your staff. So let's say a sales rep. A sales rep, most of the time, they don't really care about analytics. All they really care about is knowing, did I meet my goal today, right? So if you're a prospector who's supposed to call, 10 people, and it's pretty light, in one day, at the end of the day, they just want to get a report that go, yep, I got it.
Right.
To where your call center manager, they need near real-time data, right, or real-time data so they can, see right now, what does my queue look like? How many people do I have logged in? What is my wait time? And then, of course, they need to see at the end of the day, end of the week, end of the month, how are they doing? And then they're going to compare that trend over time. So hopefully their wait times are going down, an impact like that. So everyone needs a little bit different. So some people need the scheduled, some people need the real time, and then sometimes, people need that data blending by pulling that data out and meshing it with, maybe a online chat, seeing how that is being staffed along with the call volume, so you can actually see difference in trends.
Yeah, and it saves a ton of money without, or a ton of time not having to worry about going in every day and pulling the same report.
Right.
Things just kind of show up in your inbox and there they are. So it's a
great.
big benefit in that. All right, so let's change gears a little bit to your first article, which talked about integrating your CRM system with your phone system, which was really great. And so before we kind of jump into the specifics, can you give people who may not know what a CRM system is or what it can do for you, kind of give people an overview of what that is?
Yeah. So the CRM system, which is customer relation management, has really changed over the years. Traditionally, it was just basically a contact list back in the early days, and now it's really become, with Salesforce.com really driving things, it's become the heartbeat of a company. Everything flows through the system. So it'll have your prospects to your customers, to the assets of those customers, so what products do they actually have, your support team can actually work in it, your opportunity, so all kinds of different things in there. And the reason why it's really important to have in your company is, and integrating with like a UC system is, think about, back in the day, I know I've done this, is, someone call in and I'd get my spiral binder out, my pen, and write some notes, and hopefully I'll remember to follow up later, or I'll remember, that I had that conversation with that customer, they call back in again. And now with the CRM, I can log in those call notes and set up tasks for later on. So.
Okay, so now that we know that we can combine the CRM with our phone systems today and do some really cool things, can you kind of tell that story, kind of how it changed you from a salesperson, exactly like what you're talking about, to now that you have these tools, how did it make your life easier as a salesperson?
Yeah, well, as I mentioned, I do remember being a sales guy, having to use the binder and then going in and updating an Excel spreadsheet and then emailing that out to my manager saying, here's my pipeline and here's how many calls I made today. Now with the UC system, I can have screen pops on my web browser that shows, hey, here's this incoming call. Oh, it's Brian. Oh, I've talked to Brian before. Here's my opportunity that I'm working right now. So I can actually interact with the caller in a more intelligent way. I can make notes real time, and I can set up follow-up tasks. I know what we've talked about in the past, so it's not so much a cold call anymore. It's a warm, I know you. And it makes it seem like we're friends, right. Almost, because I know a lot about you right there just because my system told me. And other things, it could be your number one customer. So let's say someone calls in and you see it's your number one customer, and it's like, oh wait, he has an open task, or open case rather, and we haven't answered it in 2 days. Oh no, this is going to be a bad conversation. Right. So I may not want to answer the call. No, just joking. But at least I know, hey, this guy's not going to be happy, so I can already have that in my head, how I'm going to deal with the situation. So it gives you the intelligence of, what is that customer calling me about, or that prospect. So
yeah, to me, this is the biggest thing that makes unified communications different than legacy systems. That really ties things in. Can you talk about maybe in some other industries where these integrations can really help other businesses besides CRMs?
Yeah, so today I think everyone's pretty much used to being able to call up your bank. So you can call up your bank. You can say, okay, I want my balance. So hit number 2 for your balance. Type in your account code, and it spits back your balance, right? Everyone's pretty much used to it, but I still think that's really cool. Because that data does not live in your phone system. It actually lives in some other database at the bank, right? So, here is the financial industry really, to me, drove this. But other areas you could do this, let's take education. So education is, I want to be able to call in and know how's my kid doing in school. So I can call in, type in a PIN number, and it can spit out his grades, when was the last time he turned in homework. Or you could tie in a third-party solution, such as auto dialers, that automatically dial, you and tell you how your student's doing. So if Brian hasn't turned in his exams lately, or maybe got a D on it, it can automatically call and tell me. Not that would ever happen, of course.
Right.
But it can automatically tell us. So not only can UC systems, be interactive, but it can be proactive. So it can actually tell people things. Healthcare, I think, is another exciting industry that I could see a lot of use for UC. The big buzzword these days of big data and Internet of Things. Basically, big data, people are doing a lot of predictive analytics off of it. You got the Internet of Things, so all these sensors connected to your patients. So how does UC tie into that? Well, what if the predictive analytics said, that patient right there, I think is going to have a heart attack? It could actually get the people in, the doctors, it could call everyone to be in the room before that guy has a heart attack. So that's the power of combining all these different technologies together. And I think UC has a huge fit in all the industries and in the future of technology.
Yeah. All right. Well, Stephen, I definitely appreciate your time today. Some fantastic information. Go check out Stephen's articles on our blog at www.digium.com, and we will see you next time on Digium Live.